to be a fine line between coincidence and irony.
You sure about that map?
Unfortunately, there was some nonsense about the discovery of the real King Arthur's tomb here years ago, soon discredited. And yet another roadside attraction was born.
Well, let's see what we can see, shall we? At least it should be educational. Either housekeeping should be fired, or no one's been inside for months. Now this is familiar enough.
Go for it, Laura. Test your royalty.
No King of England jokes, Alistair. I probably have to turn on the power first. This place has seen better days.
It's been condemned since the death of the owner, one Professor Worth. I shudder to think that at one time he had students.
And we have power.
Hey, now that the power's on, maybe you can go back and pull out Excalibur.
It's not Excalibur! The sword and the stone and Excalibur were two different bloody swords! Arthur got Excalibur after the sword and the stone broke in his battle with Pellinor! Oh, good grief, nobody gets it straight!
That's because nobody cares.
Boys.
Sorry.
Generous by calling it mud.
Thus did King Arthur gather round his person ye greatest knights of ye realm, that they might be paragons of chivalry and virtue. Gaily they camest, yea, and 'twas an assembly as hadst naught before been seeneth, and verily
There's no difference between stupid and charming with you, is there?
so that there would be no squabbling betwixt ye knights, Merlin bequeathed upon Arthur yon round table, which was a table neither square nor buttressed, but circular in form. 'Twas a symbol of unity and equality, and 'twas from whither Arthur's knights took their name, the Knights of the Round Table.
I'm assuming you're taking notes.
Yeah, verily.
Behold ye Holy Grail! Such a vision of yon cup of Christ didst verily appeareth to Arthur and his knights, whereupon several amongst them didst quest for to find it anon. And they 'twere Paul, Lancelot, Galahad, Percival, and Bors. And yonder they journeyed, none e'er returning, though Galahad did see the Grail, and yea, his heart 'twas gladdened muchly.
How did they know he found it if he didn't return?
Exactly!
ye mighty sword of legend. 'Twas Merlin who did bringeth Arthur to yon magical lake, wherein didst dwell ye lady of the lake. And from her hand didst Arthur take Excalibur. And ye sword couldst ne'er be broken, for 'twas its magic.
I'm confused. Weren't Excalibur and the Sword in the Stone?
They were too bloody different.
Now, Zip. That was too easy.
For hours didst Arthur and Mordred hackle upon Salisbury Plain. Arthur with Excalibur, Mordred with its scabbard. Then it was that both were disarmed, and Arthur did strike Mordred a fatal blow with ye spear of Sir Bedivere. Anon camest more tragedy, for Arthur was himself mortally wounded in ye battle, and yea, yon sky didst darken.
There's a logical explanation for that. It's called evening.
He is half metaphor, you know.
Before he did die, Arthur badest his knight Bedivere to returneth Excalibur to yon lady of ye lake. And lo, didst Arthur's body then slumber, and yea, it was borne away to Avalon, where it is said, where it is said that from thither.
Well, if he went to Avalon, then whose tomb's supposed to be here?
Maybe the grunting Saxon or the Roman fascist that Alistair believes the whole legend was built around. This is where the truth behind the myth is supposed to be explained, but it's been turned into a warehouse.
Fitting. There's been so little truth everywhere else. Why start here? The only factual basis behind the King Arthur myths died centuries before this place was built.
Give Professor Worth some credit. If he had to close an exhibit for renovations, at least he picked the most boring one. This definitely isn't Arthur's tomb.
We knew that already.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen enough tombs in my life to know when I'm looking at a cenotaph.
See?
A diversion. Now this is better.
Nice. Be careful. You don't want to demolish anything important.
Really, Alistair, I have a velveteen touch. But I'm glad to see you now think there may be something important here. There has to be a way to raise this door.
Are you all right?
I decided to take the slow way down instead.
Should have told that to the forklift.
Please, Alistair. This will take some concentration.
Yeah, pipe down, Alistair. Or I won't let you sit up front with me anymore. Looks like there's oil seeping into the water table. Who knows how long it's been burning?
I wonder if the architect's design deliberately took this into account. Why don't you go down and hold that door open? Take this time to adjust some travel arrangements I made. It shouldn't take too long.
Coward. Don't worry, Lara. I've still got an eye on you. Probably won't be able to hear each other too well when you're underwater, though.
There is a god.
Hey, I heard that.
looking at myth. Except it's real. They're all here. The court of Camelot.
You're sure about this? King Arthur, who wast verily of ye loins of Uther Pendragon?
I've no doubt about the authenticity of this tomb, Alistair. Arthur was the 11th century figure that became legend. The once and future king was as real then as the air I'm breathing now.
I don't know, Laura.
Excalibur, the sword in the stone. That's how it always goes, isn't it?
Pardon?
Swords in stones, Alistair. They're part of the monomyth. There wasn't just one Excalibur or one Merlin. We keep seeing swords and daises all over the world because they were everywhere.
So, you're saying that everywhere they went, they raised up kings, shaping the course of human destiny?
Well, it's a possibility.
Who? And what happened to them and their swords?
Perhaps they're in Avalon. It's as good a place as any. Except our Merlin was killed and our Excalibur was left in pieces in the hands of the locals.
So where's Avalon?
I don't know. On the other side of the looking glass, perhaps?